17 dogs dead at an East Valley boarding house. MCSO says right now it appears to be an accident, but the owners of those dogs, well, they say they want to see criminal charges in this case.
Yeah, those dogs were being housed in an air-conditioned home, but the AC went out Thursday night. The next day, those dogs were found in bad shape. Andrew Hasbin talked with some of the dogs' owners. He is live now with the story tonight. Andrew.
And those dog owners, Mark, are devastated. They're stunned. How could this happen is the question they're asking. How can 17 dogs succumb to the heat in the overnight hours? The dogs' owners, to make matters even worse, didn't find out until today when some of them went to the boarding house to pick up their pets. Outside the boarding house, devastated dog owners waiting for answers.
He called at 12:22 this afternoon saying that the dogs ran away. I had 2 golden retrievers, a 10-year-old and a blind one that's 8, and they're not going to run away.
She later found out both of her dogs were dead. The boarding house's owner put more than a dozen dead dogs in a backyard shed.
Now I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old grandson that are going to come home to no dogs because their dogs are dead, rotting in a shed.
According to MCSO, the owners of the boarding house were in Florida and left a relative in charge. The dogs were checked on around 11 o'clock Thursday night, and sometime after that, one of the dogs chewed through an electrical line, knocking out the air conditioner to half the house. MCSO says the dogs had water, but early Friday morning, they were found in distress. The dogs' owners say they weren't contacted until this morning.
We were 2 hours away. They could have called us. They could have said something. I don't care what time in the morning. They're like your children. They could have said something, and they chose not to. And I think the only reason why this is happening today was because we were supposed to pick them up today.
This couple removed one of their dogs from that backyard shed. They believe the other ran away.
Anybody knows it's the middle of June, and of course it's going to be hot. And I understand they say the family was out in Florida somewhere. They were out of state for whatever reason, but they had other people staying in the house. There's no reason this should have happened. The
Green Acre boarding house near Val Vista and Queen Creek bills itself as in-home dog boarding that doesn't use kennels or cages. A total of 28 dogs were staying in the part of the house that lost air conditioning. 17 of them died. Outside the home, a sheriff's deputy told the furious dog owners that for now, the owners wouldn't be charged.
That something stupid happened, guys, I totally agree with you. That is a crime, I don't agree with.
That didn't sit well as owners claimed their dead animals.
If a dog is left in a car, you are going to get prosecuted. How is a dog is left in a shed and not getting prosecuted?
This is a criminal act. I'm not satisfied at all with what the sheriff is saying.
What we know is we are going to continue to investigate and find out what happened here. It doesn't end here. It's a horrible, tragic accident at this point. But there are some questions we're still going to want answers to, and we're going to get those.
And MCSO says the sheriff is aware of this case and he is paying close attention. The owners of the boarding house flew back from Florida on Friday night, but it's not clear if anyone called a veterinarian to check on the dogs. I'm Andrew Hasbin, Fox 10 News.
"17 dogs staying at a Gilbert boarding home died when the owner of that boarding home said one of the dogs chewed through a cord, cutting the air conditioning. Sheriff's deputies called the deaths an accident, but there is a lot more to this story.
Pet owners today complaining about how they were informed about the dogs' deaths. Even more stunning is many of those pet owners say the person in charge of caring for their dogs was Austin Flake, the son of Arizona Senator Jeff Flake. Andrew Hasbin following this story for us. He joins us live. Andrew.
Yeah, this is really surprising stuff. The owners were out of town this week and left their daughter and her husband, Austin Flake, to run the boarding house near Gilbert. Multiple sources have told Fox 10 that Austin Flake was there. They've ID'd him, the senator's son, as being at the home when they dropped off their dogs and when they picked up their bodies. So far, nobody has been charged, and MCSO told the dog owners that it looks like this was all an accident, but the dog owners want to see a criminal investigation. Their stories are heartbreaking. The owners of these dogs assumed their pets would be taken care of. Now, 17 of them are dead. The owners of these 2 dogs got the call Saturday morning and came straight to the home near Gilbert and confronted the boarding house's owner.
And I demanded, I got in his face and I said, "You give me my dog's bodies now and Willie will leave." So he said, "I don't have them in the house. I have to get them. I will bring them to you. Get out of my house." So we went out of the front and he carried my Daisy, who was lifeless. I prayed that they were still alive. Who was lifeless and dead and just threw her at my feet like a piece of meat.
She was told her 2 dogs and one of the owner's dogs had died after a dog chewed through a cord supplying power to the air conditioning in the rooms where the dogs are being housed.
We had no idea. We had no idea how many dogs that we'd find that day that were dead.
MCSO says a total of 28 dogs are being housed in the area that lost power. The dogs were found in distress Friday, but nobody was notified until Saturday morning, and many of them were told their dogs had run away.
We had a dog that was a digger, and we didn't know about it. Dug a hole, and Sherman and Parker somehow Parker got out the whole tube. Not sure how. I was in the storm right now. My wife, my girls are out looking for them.
The owners of these 2 golden retrievers got that message. They're in California visiting Disneyland with their 2 kids. One of their dogs was the best man at their wedding. They shot this video the day they left him at the boarding facility. The dog waited at the gate as they drove away. On Saturday, a relative claimed his body.
We were going to the beach yesterday, and my mother-in-law called me and told me what happened. And my son was asking me, "Daddy, why are you crying? Why are you crying?" I told him that I think our dogs are in heaven now. And he said, my 4-year-old son looked at me and he said, "Daddy, please stop crying."
The owners of the house told MCSO they were out of town when all this happened and left relatives in charge. Fox 10 has been able to confirm that those relatives are the owner's daughter and her husband, Austin Flake, son of Arizona Senator Jeff Flake. Some of the dog's owners and others confirmed that through wedding photos and a wedding video posted on YouTube.
100%. These are the people that took care of my dogs, that I dropped my dogs in possession of when I left.
No doubt in your mind?
No doubt in my mind. The text that was sent to me from the owner said that his daughter and his son-in-law would be caring for them and they'd be back shortly.
In a statement, Senator Jeff Flake says, "I learned of this tragic accident yesterday. I can't imagine the devastating loss these families are experiencing. My heart goes out to the owners who lost their beloved pets." MCSO is still investigating, but so far, no charges.
I hurt inside knowing that my dogs died a horrible death, and all these other people, we just want to know what happened, and we feel like this is a crime.
Initially, the sheriff's office told the dog's owners that this all appears to be an accident and their animal crimes detectives were not going to get involved. Well, today we learned the sheriff's office will be investigating, and we should know much more about the case tomorrow. I'm Andrew Haspin, Fox 10 News.
Andrew, thank you.